Country, 1390 AM WHS Shelby, 1050 AM WLO in Lincoln, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia.
MCN News, I'm Mike Rayleigh. More than 2,200 people are dead from the typhoon that devastated the Philippines. CBS News correspondent Seth Doan is in Tacloban and says that people are trying to leave there.
Tacloban Airport, thousands of residents have been evacuated, but the line for those still waiting to get out stretched for miles.
That's the goal of our family is to leave this city so that we can start a new life there. Because here in Tacloban, there's no food, water, so you cannot live here.
The city administrator here estimates that 90% of his city was affected by this typhoon, but he says just 20% of people have received aid.
Employers added 204,000 jobs in October despite a partial government shutdown, even though the economy added jobs. NC State economist Dr. Mike Walden says it does not mean the economy is functioning at full force.
We were firing on all cylinders. We'd be up in the 350,000 range, and really 200,000 non-payroll jobs is enough to keep us treading water, and we can see that in the unemployment rate. It actually ticked up a little bit to 7.3 from 7.2.
Former President Bill Clinton is among the latest to criticize President Obama for failing to keep his promise about the Affordable Care Act, the promise that Americans could keep their health care policies if they like them and not lose them. American University political analyst Leonard Steinhorn says a fix is a doable situation, but the Obama administration has to act fast.
They're going to have to figure out how to make sure that they can keep this promise, grandfather all those people in, make it whole, and still not distort the financing of the rest of the health care plan.
Asheville City Council has approved an ordinance to allow people with concealed weapons permits to carry guns at city playgrounds. You're listening to NCN News.
How can a mouse save you money? Well, just use your computer mouse to navigate to togetherwesave.com. You'll find a website filled with great ideas on how to cut your energy bill. Some are as simple as closing the blinds when it's hot outside or turning your water heater down when you go on vacation. Along with lots of valuable cost-cutting information, togetherwesave.com lets you take a peek at how much money you can save. Take the fun online home tour and see what you can save through simple energy-saving practices. The interactive tour calculates savings customized to your location. If you have an iPhone or Android device, download the Together We Save app. You'll be able to receive daily tips and reminders on new ways to make your home more energy efficient. So turn off the lights, adjust the thermostat, and follow your mouse to togetherwesave.com. You can save energy and save money. TogetherWeSave.com, a service of North Carolina's Touchtone Energy Cooperatives.
I'm Randy Owen. Join me each week as I play 5 decades of great country music and tell stories about a lot of my friends and heroes. Folks like Conway Twitty, Charlie Pride, George Jones, Dolly Parton, and of course Merle Haggard. We may even play some Alabama. Join me, Randy Owen, for Country Go.
Country Go with Randy Owen, Thursday afternoons from 1 to 5, right here at Big O Country. 1390 AM WHS, 1050 AM WLON, 1590 AM WCSL. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
One team, one court, one goal. Victory.
And win number 700 for Roy Williams comes in a place he knows very well.
All the three-point swishing, ball moving, hard dunking action of Carolina basketball is right here.
North Carolina Tar Heel, Duke Blue Devil, Clemson Tiger basketball, plus the ACC and NCAA tournaments, right here on Big O Country.
Mitchum's Kitchen in Vail is now booking Christmas catering. No Christmas party is too large or too small for Mitchum's Kitchen in Vail. From the best in homemade cooking to barbecue and fish plates with all the trimmings. And their prices are the best. Just call 704-276-1155 for more information. It's time to book your Christmas party now with Mitchum's Kitchen at the Highway 274-27 West intersection in Vail.
High pressure building in from the west today will leave us with sunny skies. It'll be breezy and unseasonably chilly as highs reach about 42 to 47. Tonight we'll call it clear and very cold with light winds and lows dropping into the low to mid-20s. On Thursday, we'll see lots of sunshine once again. Not going to be as cool tomorrow thanks to a southwesterly breeze setting in. Highs will reach about 52 to 57. Looks like we'll see a few more clouds on Friday, but also should warm up some more then. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Currently at the Big O Country Studios, it's 10:08, and the temperature is 30 degrees.
Here's What's Up in Cleveland, Gaston, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper and Big O Country, WOHS, WCSL, and WLON. The Cherryville Chamber of Commerce and the City of Cherryville are planning their 2013 Christmas Parade, scheduled for Saturday, December 14th at 10:30 a.m. Anyone interested in participating or sponsoring a float, please contact Richard Randall at 704-435-3451. And the Krause History and Photo Project announces that Robert Carpenter will be their guest speaker at the November 19th meeting at the Krause United Methodist Church. The topic will be the Gaston County 1863 tax list and narrative. All meetings are free and open to the public. Everyone is invited to attend. For more information, call Mona Ramsey at 704-736-1440. And that's What's Up. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper. Big O Country, WOHS 1390 AM, WCSL 1590 AM, and WLON 1050 AM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com.
Need a contractor? One call will do it all when you call Hakoa Home Repair Network. The Hakoa contractors will show up. They will return your call. They are licensed and they are insured. From roofing to electrical, from plumbing to painting, to landscaping to carpentry and more. Here is the number to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 704-445-7365. Again, that's 704-445-7365. Again, one call does it all with Hakoa Home Repair Network, serving homeowners since 1993.
Bud Light presents Real American Heroes.
Real American heroes.
Today we salute you, Mr. Jelly Donut Filler.
Mr. Jelly Donut Filler.
Many a night you pondered the question, how can I get some jelly shoved into a plain powdered donut's blowhole?
In the blowhole.
Inspiration and perspiration led you to invent the answer. The Jelly Super Squirter.
Super Squirter.
Late at night, all night, you work your squirter so that we can wake up satisfied and enjoy our breakfast jelly treat.
Work your squirter.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Jelly Donut Filler. Nobody else takes it to the hole quite the way you do.
Thank you, Mr. Jelly Donut Filler.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Distributed by Fox Distributing, Grover Street, Shelby.
And good morning. It's time for the Community Profile Program here on Big O Country, WOHS, WLON, and WCSL this Wednesday, November 13th. It is 12 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock, and glad to have you listening in on radio or listening and watching us on ktcbroadcasting.com. You can see live in the studio Sandy in the back of my head, and also our guest for today. Sandy, would you introduce
I'll be glad to.
Our guest today?
It's good to have with us today Travis Powell. We've known Travis a long time, and he's a very talented young man, and it doesn't matter that I graduated high school with your mother, but I enjoy your music and what you do.
I appreciate that.
So welcome, Travis.
So much. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a while, but it's good to be back.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've met Travis, and it's nice to meet you, Travis. I've heard a lot about you.
Good to meet you too, buddy. Thank you so much.
Tell a little bit about yourself. Sandy said you knew your mom, so you grew up in this area?
Yeah, I grew up here in Shelby. Been here all my life. I lived in Nashville for 2 years, back in 2000. I guess it was 10, 11, somewhere around in there. But been in Shelby all my life, and growed up listening to Elvis and Mom and all those. Mom and her sisters sing, and my dad was a singer also. So I was kind of, it was in my blood, I guess. But you know, I went off, love Elvis all my life, and went off and did the country thing for about 10 years, and just had to take a break, and I wanted to get back to doing something I love. So now I'm paying tribute to the greatest entertainer of all time.
There you go. There you go. And, Sandy, he certainly has the Elvis features, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. I had to look at him twice.
And it's all real too.
I know it's real.
That's right. There you go. No surgery there.
Too. I never met the real Elvis, but this Travis, his impersonation, or what would you rather call it? Tribute.
Well, it's a tribute.
Tribute.
We do a tribute
to Elvis is really good, and I have heard him, and he's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you do all genres of Elvis, complete with costume changes, or what? How's your show go?
I don't really do the 1950s much. My knees aren't too great, so so the 50s stuff is very hard for me to do. But we do the 68, and then the That's the Way It Is, which was early 70s, and then through all the concert years.
Yeah. Okay. And you obviously, we know you are Elvis tribute artist, but if you walk into the grocery store or shopping center, I imagine you get some looks, don't you?
Yeah, it's weird. Of course, I wore a hat and everything today, but because it's very cold outside, and I don't like cold weather. But most of the time, the hair's I don't fix it up like I was fixing to walk on stage. But when you have hair like this, and sideburns, you just can't get away from it. All those guys that wear the wig, they can switch it on and off. And for me, you can't really do that. I've had people say, "Do you go out in public looking like that all the time?" And I say, "Well, I don't have a choice."
That's right.
Unless you put a hat on, you look like
you've got to
all
look.
the time.
You've got to look, especially the sideburns are real and everything.
Yeah.
And so you've got.
I try to do it. I want to. I could cut my hair and get a wig and all that stuff, but I try to give the best the tribute that I can and the most authentic that I can, and I think that's part of it.
Oh yeah.
So it gives the crowd that's sitting out in the seats. It gives them really.
Sorry.
Sorry, you can answer it. No, just kidding. It gives them an illusion that maybe they didn't get to see, if that makes sense. And for the people that did get to see Elvis, they sit back and they go, "Wow, I remember when."
Yeah.
So, and it's the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah. Well, we talked to Ed Hill back on August 16th. I'll never forget that day because it's Milton's birthday.
My birthday.
And we called Nashville and talked to Ed Hill. And, of course, I played for them at the fair last year. And they came to my church. Ed Hill's a marvelous, wonderful person. And I could just sit and pick his brain all day. And really. And he's got a memory like a steel trap. But he really dearly loved Elvis. And he still continues today. Matter of fact, he just got back from Brazil.
Yeah, for the Elvis Lives tour.
Yeah, Elvis Lives tour. And so he worked with him a long time. And as the J.D. Sumner and the Stamps, today they go as, what is it they call themselves? Just the...
Well, I know, I'm not sure where Ed goes, but I know it's Ed Enoch and the Stamps Quartet. I spoke with Ed not too long ago, and they still, I went and seen them play a show with another tribute artist in sometime early part of the year, and they still do it. They have another Golden something. I'm not sure.
I should have Googled that and found out.
Yeah, they all those guys. What I've learned, and I've got to meet a lot of them since I've been doing this. To the bodyguards, to 2 weeks ago, or when I was in Portage, Indiana, I think it's somewhere around 2 weekends ago, I got to meet Joe Esposito.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that moment of shaking his hand. And that kind of felt like shaking the man's hand that shook his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get no closer than that. And we
was he his manager?
Yeah. Well, he was a road manager.
Road manager.
Colonel
okay.
Parker was the
Colonel
head
Parker
man,
was
but
the man.
Joe was Elvis's right hand man.
Yeah.
You know, and to see him, and I'll never forget a moment that I will treasure for the rest of my life. I do you've probably heard the song "I'll Remember You."
Mm.
Well, I grew up on the Aloha show, and if you remember in that song, there's a part in the chorus that it says "I'll remember you," and he kind of ducks his head and looks to his left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've always wondered what Elvis was looking at. So the first time I met Ed Enoch, I asked him. He said, you know, I always thought if I met one of these guys, the one question I'm going to ask, you don't want it to be cheesy, so I'm going to ask something that I really want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know. So I asked him, I said, who is he looking at? And, of course, you know, Ed's a cut up, too. He's just like us, likes to have fun. He said, well, if he was smart, he'd have been looking at Kathy Westmoreland, which was the female high singer. She was a pretty lady. He said if he was smart, he'd been looking at her, but he was probably looking at J.D. Sumner, because they had a real good bond, you know. But when I was in Portage, I was doing "I'll Remember You," and I didn't know it, but Joe was sitting 2 tables off the stage.
Oh,
and
goodness.
I did that song, and I got to that part, 'cause I will remember to, and I looked to my left, and I seen Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
my
he was
goodness.
looking at me, and he winked at me and gave me a thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Oh,
I will
gosh.
never, ever forget that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after the show, he had a autograph table out there, and he walked up to me. He kind of motioned for me to come over there. So I walked over and I said, "Hey, Joe." He said, "Hey, buddy." He said, "I want to tell you something." And I said, "Okay." He said, "You sounded great on that song," and he said he would be proud.
Oh, goodness.
And I just, that was all I needed, needed to hear, because you work hard at paying tribute to Elvis, and for me, I take it very seriously. And, I've been watching Elvis since I was 4 years old. You know, I actually showed my manager a video of me doing Elvis when I was 4 years old. The date's 1986. And every time on stage, before I do Can't Help Falling in Love or Trilogy, I always say, thank you, Elvis, for giving a 5-year-old a dream. And it's the truth. He gave me the dream to want to entertain people and make people feel good and enjoy themselves. So it's I take it very seriously for Joe to say, Elvis will be proud, was a moment that I'll never forget.
What a compliment.
You know, what's amazing about the impact Elvis had on the world and people's lives is, here's Travis now. When Elvis passed away, you were born in what year?
I was born in 82.
82, yeah. Okay, so 5 years after Elvis died, but still, yet what an impact Elvis made on Travis and other people around the world. It's been quite some time now since Elvis passed away, and when he was at the height of his career, but he still has the young folks are still getting into his music.
Well, I've noticed that too, and that's what we want to do. If I can, I think we're going to Canada in 2014. Talks about going to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, if there's another 5-year-old that's sitting in that audience and come to my show, and I don't want them to go home and look up Travis Powell.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give them an illusion to where they go home and they start YouTubing Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
And they see what I seen, when I was that young, and what he did for me and a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to do. I don't, if they look up me, that's fine, but I want them to go look up Elvis Presley, and hopefully he'll change their lives, the way he changed mine. So I got to do a lot of them. I had tell you another quick story. I was blessed enough to go play Elvis Week. Of course, is the 16th, the week that Elvis passed.
Mm-hmm.
And the week after that, I got to go out to California at Elvis's honeymoon house, and I played in his living room at his house.
Wow!
Oh, goodness!
Have you ever seen the picture of him and Priscilla on the couch in their honeymoon?
Yeah.
All right. I played in front of that couch. So when I looked out, I played actually in the dining room where they had the dining room, and there was a couple steps off, so they used the dining room as a stage. And straight ahead was that couch. If I'm standing on stage like this, the couch is this way, and that picture is right there in front of you. Mm-hmm. So I played his honeymoon house, and it was, when I first started this professionally a little over a year ago, I would have never thought, that within 2 years, we'll say, that I would be playing standing in Elvis Presley's house in California, singing his songs.
It's taking you a lot of places. You've met a lot of people.
I've met a lot of people. Met the bodyguard, Joe Esposito, and Sam Thompson, and Dick Grove, and a lot of those people.
Yeah, as a tribute artist, you mentioned going to a performance of another artist. Do you stay in contact with other tribute artists? Is there a circle of friends there, or is everybody kind of competitors? How would you describe the relationship with other artists? Put him on the spot there.
There is we keep in touch.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. There's some people you keep in touch with, there's some you don't.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just like everything else. Okay. Unfortunately, there is a lot of competition in it. Yeah. I don't look at it that way. When you do these contests and everything else, of course, everybody strives to be the best. But I don't go out. My personal mindset is when I go to a contest, I don't go to beat Milton. I don't go to beat Sandy. I don't go to beat an individual. I go to a contest, and I try to give the best tribute that I can. Now, how the judges see it, if we're in a contest, that's how they see it. I think a lot of the guys try to be competitive.
Yeah.
Of course, your natural instincts as a human being, if you're in a contest, you want to win. But it's a whole lot more than that to me. Yeah.
And doing the Elvis music, you said you started, pretending to be Elvis when you were a little boy, 4 or 5 years old. Is doing the Elvis songs in the Elvis style, is that something that just came naturally, or was it a lot of work to sound like Elvis?
Believe it or not, it was a whole lot more work to try to sing country music. And I think what it was is, my family saying that I was raised on gospel music.
Yeah.
Gospel and Elvis, that's what it was. And my natural voice and singing voice is more geared towards Elvis stuff. You do have to work on some of the little the word's not coming to my head, but the sayings and how you phrase the phrasing of different things. But his voice fits me a whole lot better than say a country voice, because Elvis was he could just sing.
Yeah.
Golly, he could just flat out sing low stuff, high stuff. So that stuff fits my voice, a whole lot better than the country stuff did. Do I work on it? Yes. I go every day. I sing at least around an hour and 15 to an hour and a half a day, 2 shows a day. I rehearse.
And let's talk about this concert you have coming up.
Yeah, we have December the 7th. We're doing a show with the Cleveland Rutherford Kidney Association. It's called Christmas with the King. I've been working with the association about 4 years now, and we do this show. We bring in EAS band from Chicago, Illinois. They come in and play for us, and we do. We're going to do some Christmas stuff and do some concert stuff and do some 68 stuff. So this show we're looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good show, a little different than the last couple that we've done. Of course, I opened for Aaron Tippin and John Michael Montgomery the first couple years, and then we started doing this. So it's going to be a good show. And of course, the Kidney Association is a great association. They do a lot for a lot of people. So I'm happy to be working with them. And over the years, we've grew. We have a great partnership. So hopefully that'll last for many years to come. But you you need to come out to the show if you hadn't. For one, it's going to be a good show. I promise you that. And number two, it goes to a great cause. So.
And it's going to be where's the location for the show?
The Isothermal Community College, the foundation there.
Yes.
Beautiful building.
Beautiful.
How many does it seat? Travis, do you know?
I think it sits somewhere around 1,200.
Okay.
I think
it's very nice.
Like that. It's a beautiful place.
Beautiful venue, and
yeah.
December the 7th, Christmas with the King.
Yeah.
And all proceeds going to
at 7 o'clock.
Do you before or after the show? Do you get to meet some of the folks who come?
Well, we have a. What we'll do is we'll have a couple meet and greet tickets. I think there's a couple left. You can call them and see what they have left. But I'll do, if you get a meet and greet ticket, I'll do a meet and greet before the show, and you get to. I'll put on the jumpsuit, and we'll take pictures and all that, and then I'll come out to the table afterwards, and so I won't have a jumpsuit on or nothing like that, but I'll come out to the merchandise table and sign anything that you've bought, and we'll have the CDs for sale. I got to bring you guys one so you can play a song, but we'll have all that stuff there. So we'll do meet and greet, and I'll be able to talk to you and come up and get a scarf.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What's a website? I'm sure you have a website folks can go on.
Yeah, it's just Cleveland Rutherford Kidney Association. I think it's CRKA. That's what it'd be on the internet.
Yeah.
So.
And you have a website?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
ETATravispowell.com.
ETA Travis Powell. Okay. .com. All right.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Travis, having you. And you got to get us a CD up here. So
absolutely. It's been a pleasure being here. Thank y'all so much for all your support and everything we do, and hopefully we do more. We got a lot of big things coming up that we can't talk about right now. But
okay.
Hopefully we'll be back soon and we can go over some stuff.
Well, you've got my cell phone number now, and you can text me some stuff.
And so, folks out there listening, if you know Travis, you might see him around the area, and those who don't know Travis, you might think you saw Elvis.
Yeah,
that's right.
Make sure you stop and say hey.
That's right.
Don't be afraid to just say hey.
Yeah.
I like talking to people.
You do, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I guess sometimes you get interrupted at your meals or something.
Well, sometimes, but I don't mind that. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's funny how a lot of people get. But I really don't mind. I think if you want to say hey, please by all means say hey. I've seen people that I have walked by people, and since everybody's listening, I have walked by people and they look at me like they want to say something, but they don't want to bother me. You're not bothering me.
Yeah.
Stop and say hey or holler at me or something like that. I'd love to talk to you. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm glad you're loving what you do, and you are very good.
Thank you so much.
It sounds wonderful.
One thought here before I guess the Lisa Marie Presley concert, that was last Saturday. I guess everything went cool with that.
Well,
have you heard anything? Did you go?
I guess. It's funny. Lisa Marie come to my hometown, and I didn't even get to go. Yeah. I was playing a show out in Sanford, North Carolina, but I'm sure it was great. I haven't actually heard anything, but I've not been back in town long, so I'll make sure I talk to the Don Gibson and Stan and all those people up there and see how it went. I'm sure she was great.
Well, we had Stan on, and it was already sold out,
right?
And there was a picture about one by one in the paper, so I think it was a sold out show, and she did a great job, and she came in and she left. So
good deal. Like her daddy.
Like her daddy.
Come in and put a show on and leave.
All right. I guess you talk to a lot of folks who say, I was a teenager. I went to see Elvis, or I was in my 20s or 30s or whatever, and I went to see Elvis. And they have a lot of your fans were Elvis fans, obviously, and then they have a lot of stories to tell you.
Yeah, they have a lot of stories. And I tell you what's funny is some people don't. I guess the younger generation don't realize how important Elvis was to music and rock and roll and what he done for the industries when it comes to music. But what's funny is what I find crazy is a lot of people have a lot of stories, about seeing him and the feeling that they have. And the one question I always ask is, and they say, well, I seen him in '74 in Kentucky, and I say, what was when he walked on that stage? What do you remember? And every one of them that I can remember at some point during our conversation has said he just had an aura about him. He was just different. Never have I ever heard anybody say, well, it was just the way he walked or the way he talked. He just, when he put that foot on that stage, he just had that. He didn't have to sing. He didn't have to talk.
He just had it.
He just had it.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one thing that everybody remembers, and that's, you know, I would have done anything to see him.
Okay.
One time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And he still lives in the. You know, what's funny is it's not funny, but you can ask a lot of people, you know, where they were when JFK was shot and everything else, and you can ask a lot of people about, you know, 2011, the trade centers. Some people don't remember, but I have never run into anybody that does not know exactly where they were at, where they were standing when they found out Elvis had passed away.
Oh yeah,
I sure remember.
Never.
I remember exactly.
Yeah. And what that shows me is, you know, I think he left us way too soon, but it just shows the impact he had on people's lives, you know, and the music. You know, I think John Lennon had a quote one time, and, you know, John Lennon's one of the biggest in the industry, and his simple quote was, "Before Elvis, there was nothing."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty powerful
That's
stuff.
true.
Travis, wonderful to meet you.
Thank you, buddy. You too.
I enjoyed it.
You
Come
too.
back and visit with us again.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
And good luck in the show. Raise a lot of
Thank
money
you.
for the Kidney Association. And,
Absolutely. Come out and see me. It's going to be fun.
Everybody have a wonderful time.
All right.
Sandy?
Okay.
Anything?
Thank you, Travis.
Thanks, Sandy.
Well, that's it for the week, my friend.
Yep, that's it for us this week. We'll be back next week, Monday through Wednesday, as usual.
We will.
And we've got a full schedule of guests coming up.
We do. Coach Rusty Straub
Mm-hmm.
from Gardner-Webb University on Monday.
And he's a Cherryville native.
Yes. And we'll have the winners of the talent show at Crest High School, Emily Carroll and Jordan Gray, here on Tuesday. And we'll be talking via phone to Dr. Ratchford about the John Kennedy assassination.
You got your
Yeah,
words
I
mixed
got
up with
my words
kidney.
mixed up.
We've been talking about Kidney Association. Kennedy assassination's hard to say after
Well,
that.
I've got kidney over here and Kennedy
there.
there.
Let me cover up the kidney stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Kennedy
Okay.
assassination.
So we'll be talking about the assassination.
Yeah, 50
John
years,
Kennedy. 50 years.
Anniversary of that coming up. All right, folks, thank you for listening in. As always, if you have any suggestions for topics or people on the show, please let us know. We appreciate hearing from you. And we'll see you then on Monday. Again, thanks to Elvis tribute artist Travis Powell for being our guest today.
Thank you, Travis.
Listen from the minute you wake up, and in no time we'll have you saying,
"Good morning."
WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville Gastonia.
Cakes and cookies. The strudel is heavenly. Toys and gifts. I've been going since I was 3, and now I take my daughter. Christmas at your fingertips. The crafts, the decorations, I love it all. New ideas to get you on your way.
It's how we start the holidays.
Do a happy holiday.
It is so much fun. We're making it a tradition.
It is so much fun to bring you the 46th annual Southern Christmas Show. A beautiful old town village, exquisite crafts, over 500 holiday merchants, and all the dazzling decor, singing choirs, and tempting morsels that make the show a can't-miss experience and a whole lot of fun. Today through Sunday, November 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Details at southernChristmasShow.com.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Sponsored by the Charlotte Observer.
Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain has America's top-selling subcompact tractor of the decade, the Kubota BX Series. And now you can save big with this special offer from Kubota and Parker Farm Service. Now you can buy the new Kubota BX Series tractor for 0 money down, 0% APR financing for 60 months. But that's not all. You get a $500 customer instant rebate.